Hmm. So apparently I'm online. So I just had my telephone job capacity assessment. Uh, uh, yeah, 11:17. It was 35 minutes. The call lasted 35 minutes. Uh, Talked a bit about my issues, my history. Uh, so what do I think? I think it was going very good until I feel like it was going good until the moment I said I talked about my educational background. The moment I started talking about like how I finished university and got admitted as a lawyer, I think that's when things changed. Um, in my opinion, that fact is going to be used uh, against me to deny me this disability support pension because they're going to say, well, how did you manage to do this if you've had this condition or if you have this condition? That's my thinking anyway. But it hasn't been decided yet. I will wait to see. Now, what I will say, for the sake of this video, this record, this journal, this online diary, is people who have educational qualifications, who have, in fact, a very substantial work history, much more than me, given mine is basically nothing almost, they can still fall into a psychiatric condition that makes them incapable of functioning in normally or sufficiently or good enough in a social or economic setting. So, you know, when I did my university degree, it was like what I started in 2005 and I finished in 2011, which is what? 9 years ago now. It was 9 years ago. And even while I was doing it, it should be noted that I was suffering, except I didn't know I was suffering. I was still suffering from my mental illness, my anxiety. For instance, when I first got into my combined law program in 2005, I completed a semester and I dropped out. I didn't drop out because I had bad marks. In fact, I got a high distinction in one of my courses, and I think I got a distinction in another and a credit in another, which wasn't bad at all. But I quit. I dropped out because I was feeling depressed, I was feeling lost, I was feeling confused. The same way I felt when I dropped out of my TAFE courses before that. Okay, so even when I was doing university, I was still struggling, except I didn't know. I had no idea what was going on with me. I had no idea, I had no words, no concepts, no framework to interpret my psychological experience. And it should be noted that throughout my university studies, I did not make any friends at university. And I dreaded going to classes. And I performed less than I could have. For instance, when I went to some of my law exams, I wouldn't, I mean, I was so stressed about studying that I wouldn't even study. What I would do is, because it's an open book exam, I would just bring the legislation and bring, so I'll have the legislation in front of me, and I will bring the textbook. And and that would be the very first time on the day of the exam, at the end of the semester, when you go into the exam room, that would be the first time I would actually read the legislation in the day of the exam. But because, I mean, the way they test you is on how you apply the law to the facts. So if you find the applicable law and you look at the facts and you try and reason your way, I mean, I just use my own kind of logic and just try to look at it and try to, I don't think I quoted cases because I didn't read the text. I didn't quote cases. I just looked at the and so if I made notes, rarely I would look at the notes, but usually I would just look at the legislation and try and apply what I understood the legislation to be at that point or in the exam, and I try to apply it to the facts. And that's how I did my exams, and I passed. And sometimes I got credit. Okay? So this is how I did my law degree. I got good marks in my art theory courses, and in some of my law courses, yes, I got distinctions and stuff. But my average was like a credit for my law courses. For my art theory courses, yeah, because you write essays, yeah, my average was distinction. It was only in the last final year, the last session, that I really struggled because I really didn't want to complete my degree. I was like, oh, what do I do after this? And there I think I missed almost every class that semester. And in fact, one of the courses I was doing, I didn't even think like there were two law courses and one art theory. I think I did okay in the art theory. I think I got a distinction, but in the two law courses, there was this one of the courses I didn't go to any of the classes, and the other one I went once. I think I went once. But I told them like I was sick and I was not feeling well and I was depressed, and I provided some medical evidence. And one of the courses I barely passed. I got 46, which is like the lowest mark you can get. And I think that's not even like a pass. That's like pass conceded. It's like the mark is so low. I don't know. It's called pass conceded. So the instructor just passed me. Just gave me a pass. That's the lowest mark I've ever gotten in any course. I've never failed any of my courses, but that I could have failed. But given it was my last semester, and I must have done well enough. It's not like I didn't submit anything. I did submit my assessments, but I got a pass conceded. Well, And the other course, I did pass that one, but the only reason I passed the other course was because at the very end, I had to bring this letter from my doctor saying why something like about why I didn't attend my classes or something, and I really didn't even want to give the letter. It was like, oh, this is like, I don't know what happened. I wasn't like, oh, I have to give this letter. I was like, all right, I might as well give this letter and see what happens. And I guess the letter was okay. I guess the medical letter. I did okay in that course. I think I passed that one. That was okay. But yeah, the lowest mark I ever got was like 46 out of 100. And there was a pass considered. That was at the final session of my degree. It was in 2011. And yeah, so yeah, so I couldn't. It's very possible that I could have failed, but I didn't fail. I was when I eventually passed. I was like, oh my god, I passed. You mean I completed this? After like 6 years, I finally finished it, because I didn't think what will happen after that. I was like, what do I do after this? And yeah. So anyway, why am I? This is well, stream is healthy, good. What is it? So So anyway, I mean, so the reason I'm saying all of this is because just because you have qualifications, that doesn't mean like you're functional or capable of doing things. Yeah, I could have done way better at university if I didn't suffer from mental health problems, but because I did, and because I didn't know what was going on with me, I didn't seek any help when I was at university. I just sort of suppressed everything. I just bottled up everything inside and just pushed my way through it. Just sort of like forced myself through it, and I dragged myself through it. And I could have done way better, but because of the way I was suffering and I didn't know how to deal with it, I didn't do that well, and I almost failed. I almost came to the point of not finishing it. So, sometimes I get like dreams where in my dreams or in my nightmares, it's like, in my nightmares, it's like I didn't finish my degree, and I keep getting this recurring dream where I'm going back to uni to finish to complete these 3 extra subjects in order to finish my degree. So I get these nightmares where I didn't finish it and I had to do extra subjects to make up or something. I think there were a few subjects when I was doing my degree where I think I enrolled in the course and I withdrew from the course. Like when you enroll in a course, you're given like I think about 4 weeks or something. Within that initial 4-week period, you can withdraw from the course and you won't get like a financial penalty. But I think for at least one course or maybe 2, I withdrew from the course after the 4-week period had passed, so I would still have to pay the fee for the course. So I did that at least once or twice. Again, because I wasn't like feeling well, and I was just not well. And yeah, so yeah. Well, so when people hear about me, and anyway, what else was I thinking? Oh yeah, I did when I go to my online like my government account. So my student fees, I think the total of my student fees, with my degree and with my diploma I did at the College of Law. So I owe about like a little less than 50 grand for my complete education thus far. I mean, it's much less than in the United States. In the United States, like, you have to pay the full fee, but in here, if you're like a Commonwealth supported student, you pay a contribution. So, I mean, I pay a fraction of what I would actually have to pay. I think if I had to pay full fee, it would be like a way more than 50 grand for what I studied. But because I only pay because the government pays a lot of it, I think it does. I pay not as much as I would have. So what I need to pay the government back is like a little less than 50 grand. That's what I found out. So, but they keep on indexing it, so like with inflation, that number goes up. But there's no interest on that loan, so. So I owe the government 50 grand, and anyway, yeah. So I've got the my conference tomorrow. My conference about the NDIA conference with the tribunal tomorrow, and yeah. So I was telling the person today, yes, I've got lots of things to do. I didn't want to mention that I was trans, but at the very end, she was like, "Did you have anything else to say?" I said, "Okay, I transitioned at this 2013, late 2013. I did that." So I just briefly mentioned that because I don't want to really bring it up, But I guess it's something. It might contribute to some, it's a part of my what I do. I mean, like what I am. That was kind of a big deal. But I didn't really talk much about that. I sort of mentioned it. I didn't really want to mention it, but whatever. I mentioned it. What else? Yeah, so. Yeah. So I'm like kind of. This is a appointment stressed me out, so I thought I might as well talk about it. It's stressful. I feel very hyped up right now. I need to calm down. And yeah. Yes, I'll end it here. Wait a minute, I better end it first and then,